What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, the Serious Celibate. Place your love in yourself before you ever place it in anybody else. Self-love is often the solution. Also your self-talk. So guys, today's video is about gooning and what really happens when you stop gooning. So, you might notice I'm wearing gloves. You want me to tell you why? Because some of you guys are addicted to beating yourself. Some of you guys are addicted to beating yourself up mentally and physically. So I'm telling you, bro, I already told you guys, bro, don't be a beat meter, a meat beater. Wear white beaters. And by that I mean, take one habit, whatever, throw it out, replace it with a habit, start getting more physical outside, go for runs, walks, gym. That's already one solution. You need to exchange what you're doing for something else because why? Nature abhors a vacuum, meaning sometimes if you can't stop something, you got to replace it for the most part. But I'm going to tell you guys why you goon. You goon because life is hard and you're choosing not to be harder than whatever is trying to beat you down. Something's trying to beat you down, and instead of fighting back, you beat yourself up. You just beat your meat, man. And I'm going to tell you, look, I really learned how to stop, beating myself up years ago. But it doesn't mean that I forget where I came from. You know what I'm saying? And guys, like, you got to understand at some point, you got to look at it like, bro, if I don't stop now, lust follows you to the damn casket. Like, I'm not saying it's bad to once in a while just drain the pipes. Sometimes, maybe it's just like you don't want to be too excited in terms of just like you got somewhere to go. Sometimes, it could save your life. I'm not going to lie, that post-nut clarity. Sometimes, bro, in a year, if you drain the pipes by yourself, like, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not God, but I'm just saying some of y'all on the flip side, I have a friend who did it 7 times in a day. And I'm telling you, bro, you beat your meat. If you were to meet the girl of your dreams, you probably could not meet her standards because, bro, like, you're not staying hard, bro. Life is hard. You got to be harder, bro. You gotta drip harder. I ain't talking about actually dripping harder. I'm talking about drip harder like some little baby. Like, you gotta go and face life and tell yourself, yo, look, babies get leniency. You're a man. So you gotta have a plan and you gotta stand. You gotta go. Life is a war. Every day is a battle, but you beating yourself up. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So usually what happens is, most of the reasons why people get addicted to gooning is because you're somebody who appreciates intimacy, or you're somebody who's scared of rejection. Like it's hard for you to admit to yourself. Let's take a breath. It's hard for you to admit to yourself that you want intimacy more. It's hard for you to admit to yourself that maybe you're scared of rejection. It's hard for you to admit to yourself that maybe you were exposed to this too much at a young age, and now this is the way that you express yourself sexually. What you could do is dress differently. You could take time to work on your looks. You could take time to work on your physique. It's all about looking at things like, what I'm doing is taking energy from something else I could be doing. So we've identified the reasons why, and we're really need to talk about the fact that when you goon in pornography, it can be worse than hard drugs. Search it up. What it does to the brain. And most of the time when men are gooning, they're watching pornography. And I'm going to tell you another thing. What happens to a lot of men, they start watching harder and creepier and weirder stuff. And you need to understand this is going to cause shame. An addiction is something that you can't stop even though it's detrimental for you. So some guys, they don't care about gooning. They're like, oh, like maybe they like it. But I'm telling you, bro, you have to understand that like somewhere it should cause shame, or it will cause shame. And shame is a very low vibration. But good news for you, buddy, you don't have to be a meat beater for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So number one, understand there's reasons to why. When you understand the why, it becomes clear. You don't just goon because, oh, I'm horny. No, you're scared of something. You're escaping something. Life is hard, and this is how you... And it's dangerous because you don't have to... Like, when you buy drugs, you think, okay, I'm spending money. Gooning, you can do it all day. And it's like, bro, no. Like, again, if you're addicted, if you're not addicted, this video is not for you. Right? So I don't judge, man. I've been where a lot of y'all have been. Okay. How did I get through it? Well, number one, your self-talk is really important. You have to start realizing what you're doing. Like, bro, you're watching another man pipe a shorty that maybe you would like to do. And you got to realize that this is what's going on. You have to talk to yourself like, yo, this is not normal. Like, this is not normal. You have to talk to yourself. And even when you're doing it, you have to be like, this is not what I want to do. And it's going to start decreasing um, the way you feel about it, in terms of like, once you start talking to yourself negatively about it, it's going to decrease your quantity of doing it. Because again, if it's every once in a while, I stopped doing that years ago, you know. But bro, sometimes it's like, okay, but if you're doing it every day, bro, and then you're watching pornography and you're switching, no, bro, come on, guys, corn and all that. Um, so it's not about. First of all, you have to change the way you perceive it. Talk to yourself about it in a different way. Think about it in a different way. Even when you're doing it, I need to stop. I will stop. Why? Because I know X, Y, and Z. And you need to, because right now, what it does is that when you're gooning, you're plugged into the matrix. Some man can control you. Do you want to be a master or a slave? Think about it like that. Again, your self-talk about it, how you think about it. And you got to talk out loud to yourself, buddy. I'm telling you. But then as well, you got to realize, like, okay, you may not stop right at first, but you got to start talking to yourself differently about it. Don't think about the reward of it. Think about what you're actually doing. You're draining yourself. You're beating yourself. Meanwhile, if you don't do that, let's say you're not like me, you don't want to do no celibacy. Let's say you don't want to do no semen retention. Let's say you don't want to stop smoking weed, bro. Even just doing no fap, no gooning is good for you, fam. Just start with that. Just try to do one day, and then whatever you did that day that works for you, repeat it again. Sometimes whatever works for somebody else might not work for another person, but I realized I had to talk to myself differently about it, right? I had to start thinking about it differently, because that reward short circuits what you think about it. But before you start, keep on thinking, what am I about to do? And then while you're doing it, keep on thinking like, bro, this is not it. Because the thoughts that you get while you're doing it can put you in weird situations, guys. We are gorillas and soldiers. We need to stay strong, because life is hard, but we're going to be harder. It's basically saying life is beating you down and you beat yourself up. Instead of life is beating you down and you got to fight back. And when you goon, you're taking away that energy from you to fight back. You know, sometimes you got to look at life and be like, I'm the man. Like, if you want to go punch somebody because you're angry, you got to say, I'm going to beat life down. Because what happens is, when you stop gooning, you also got to think about the possible awards. You're going to be more energetic. You're going to be more confident, you know? So yeah, number one, change the way you talk about it. Talk out loud about anything you want to do to yourself. Like, stay in your room, stay somewhere private, and start talking to yourself out loud about your goals and what you want to do, and talk about it intensely. Even if I'm a chill guy, but sometimes you got to talk out loud intensely about what you want. I'm telling you, your self-talk changes your reality, fam. Then also how, quietly, just talk about it, before you do it, as you're doing it. Another thing too, stop gooning, is that boredom leads to destruction. If on team retention, if I'm bored, I'm doing something wrong. I gotta be reading. I gotta be walking. I gotta be running, and like have a conversation with somebody. Find another thing you can do. Third thing, talk to somebody else that he can hold you accountable. Tell them what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? If you want that to be me for you, I'll start dropping my emails soon. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mo. That's a new subscriber. Anybody who I can see the subscriber, I'm shouting you guys out. Another thing that you could do. So again, we talked about the reason why. Sometimes y'all just want intimacy. Sometimes you're scared of rejection. Sometimes you're just trying to escape. But when it becomes an addiction, and addiction is bad for you, an addiction is something that you do and you can't stop. It's bad for you. So if it's not like, reduction is better than just elimination sometimes. So just try to reduce. Right? If you do it a lot, like every day, just try to reduce. That's better, right? But so we talked about the root. We talked about okay, this is what's causing it. Then we talk about, you have to realize, bro, you're watching things, what it does to you. Pornography is worse for your brain than drugs. Then another thing is, now you gotta, the solutions. You gotta start thinking about it differently, talking about it to yourself differently. Number one, don't be bored. Don't have time to be bored. Number two, number three, maybe find somebody you can talk to about it. Number four, I'll tell you this, and this is something, instead of thinking again, because the reward, the dopamine is going to hijack like whatever you're thinking before, you need to think about the benefits you're going to get, bro. You're going to feel like a whole new person. Imagine my channel, most of it, I'm trying to tell you, by you not doing certain things, you don't need to do more. Do less and you will get more. Like, do you know how life is crazy, that there's some things that if you just stop doing, you'll get more from it. So think about that. Like, bro, you're going to have more energy. You're going to be more aggressive. It's going to be easier to do your goals. Like, you don't got to be on SR, but do some like, no goon, like, I don't want to make this video too long. There's a lot of things. This video can come into parts, but yo, stop beating yourself. Start treating yourself, bro. This is not the way you want to live your life, bro. Okay? So wish you all the best. Take care of yourself. Always place your love in yourself first and foremost. Self-love is often the solution. Your self-talk is often the solution. All right? Okay. Peace out.